This week's Hajime no Ippo chapter may have been short, just 8 pages including a double spread, but it left us with something very intriguing to talk about. It reintroduced a concept that has surfaced a couple of times in the series before, Ippo as an unmovable rock. Yes, our protagonist, Makunuchi Ippo, has been portrayed as a rock in the past, specifically in 2 very different moments throughout the series. Today, we'll dive into what this rock metaphor really means in Hajime no Ippo and why it's more fascinating than it might seem at first glance. Of course, we'll also go through this week's chapter step by step. Let's begin the review. We pick up exactly where we left off, Sendo charging at Ippo, pounding his guard and forcing him to step back. All this happens while the narrator provides us with a key detail. One day before his world title match, a full of energy Sendo asks Ippo to be his sparring partner. But if Sendo gets injured, everything could fall apart. What will Ippo do now? Ippo shields himself and wonders how he got into this situation in the first place. Sendo, growing impatient, keeps attacking with wild, heavy swings. Honestly, I wouldn't be exaggerating if I said Ippo could counter him right now with ease. Still, Ippo refuses to throw a punch. He keeps absorbing the blows and thinks to himself, I can't risk hurting him. His title fight is tomorrow. What if I injure him by accident? Who'd be responsible for something like that? And here, I want to pause for a moment. Something's been bugging me. Does Ippo actually realize that he once injured his friend, Vorg Zangief, during a sparring session? We know that Ippo broke Vorg's ribs. Or at least, that's the rumor. It's what Mashiba's coach said before allowing Ryo Mashiba to spar with Ippo not long ago. And yet, even though Vorg clearly struggled in that spar, Ippo doesn't seem to have made the connection. Even when Mashiba's coach said it in front of him, Ippo didn't seem to catch on. Look, I love Ippo. He's my favorite character in the whole series, but sometimes he can be a little dense. During that very same spar with Vorg, Coach Dankichi asked Ippo if the boss was okay because he'd heard some concerning things from Nakota. And Ippo didn't connect the dots, not even when Kamogawa's condition was visibly deteriorating. Back to this chapter, Sendo is now visibly frustrated. He yells that Ippo is like a sandbag and begs him to fight back. But Ippo remains determined to stay still and endure the attacks. He says this whole situation is deeply unfair. This line instantly reminded me of Marcus Rosario's words. And yes, I'm planning a video on him soon. Sendo unleashes a rapid flurry of punches, something rare for his usual style. Honestly, it feels like a new skill he's developed recently. Sendo's never been known for fast hands. What really cracked me up was Ippo's internal monologue, Sendo, you idiot. Which, let's be fair, is completely valid. Sendo is lovable, but not exactly the brightest star in the sky. Then comes the moment. Ippo dodges and slips through the blows without taking any damage. Now, 2 things to note here. First, Sendo's punches are devastating. The only reason Ippo isn't getting hurt is not just his defense. Sendo is clearly holding back. Second, Ippo clinches him. Yes, for the first time ever in the series, Ippo hugs his opponent mid-spar to stop the fight. Sendo shouts, "Don't hug me, this isn't a date!" But Ippo doesn't let go. He calmly says he has no intention of releasing him. Cut to Miyata lowering his eyes. Let's be real, that guy is absolutely jealous. The body language says it all. Sendo then makes a psycho face, hilarious by the way, and tries to lift Ippo off the ground, grabbing both arms. But here's the twist. Ippo doesn't move. He's drawn as an enormous stone, firm, massive, completely unshakable. Sendo, the tiger of Naniwa, thinks, what the hell, I can't even budge him. He pushes harder, arms bulging, veins visible, pouring all his strength into it. And yet Ippo doesn't move an inch. That's how the chapter ends. But that image, that visual metaphor, leads us to something much deeper. Let's talk about the rock. This isn't the first time Ippo has been shown this way. Back in chapter 793, the series introduced the concept of comparing boxers to different shapes of rocks based on their skills and attributes. Kimura and Aoki were described as balanced but unremarkable rocks. They didn't stand out, but they were stable. Itagaki was a sharp, jagged rock, incredibly fast but lacking polish. Coach Fuji explained that boxing is like a sieve, a filter. Fighters who are unbalanced or incomplete might fall through, but those who are stable, solid, or uniquely sharp can survive. Takamura, of course, was shown as a perfectly rounded stone, the ideal, balanced in every area. And Ippo, when he fought Antonio Guevara, he was shown as a tall, cracked, uneven rock, clearly powerful, but still unstable. Now in Chapter 1490, he's different. He's smooth, solid, grounded. The comparison to Takamura's ideal rock is much stronger now, and that, to me, tells us a lot. These three depictions of Ippo as a rock, one cracked, one unsteady, and now one perfectly firm, represent his journey. His growth from a rough, unsure rookie to a boxer who's balanced, mature, and complete. His stamina, speed, destructive power, they've all evolved. But more than that, so has his mental discipline. He's not just tough, he's centered. And this matters because, what now? If Sendo can't move him, what will he try next? Some fans pointed out that in his match with Jose Nargo, Sendo used a brutal trick, rubbing his knuckles into Nargo's ribs while clinched, causing excruciating pain. Would he try that here? Probably not. But I do think he'll attempt to strike Ippo from this position. And the big question is, will Ippo counter? It's possible. And if he does, I just hope it doesn't injure Sendo before the match. But at the same time, I really want to see how this spar ends. This chapter, short as it was, gave us a rich metaphor, powerful tension, and another glimpse into Ippo's evolution. The rock is more than just symbolism. It's a reminder that Ippo isn't just standing still. He's become something stronger, something unshakable. Finally, there's been a lot of discussion in the community about how short this chapter was. And while I understand the frustration, I personally believe this was completely intentional. I get the feeling that author George Morikawa is carefully setting things up, preparing the stage for something truly epic to happen in chapter 1500 of Hajime no Ippo. Could it be the start of the long-awaited fight between Sendo and Ricardo, or maybe the match will already be underway, and something absolutely unforgettable will unfold in that exact chapter? What do you think? Let me know in the comments. Also, keep in mind, Golden Week is just around the corner in Japan. That means we won't be getting a new chapter for at least 1 week, maybe even 2. But don't worry, that break isn't because of the author himself. It's just part of the national holiday schedule. So don't be surprised if we have a short pause before things pick up again. And with the way things are building up, that wait might just be worth it. Thank you for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more Hajime no Ippo analysis, reviews, theories, and discussions on what makes this manga so special and why it continues to evolve just like Ippo himself. Good night, champ.